Hey, Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising. Wow, you are a rebel. You have a rebel yell going on in the sky during the month of July 2024. You're going to break the rules. You're going to bust outside the box. You're going to color way outside your lines because you've got a huge amount of energy going on with Mars and Uranus in your house of your identity. Now, I'm going to break down this month ahead. There's more than a rebel yell going on here. There's some good news on your financial front, for example. So we're going to talk in detail about how July's Western Tropical Zodiac sky looks for you bit by bit in the next 20 to 25 minutes. So settle in, grab a paper, a pen, and get ready to rock and roll. Now, first of all, by the way, maybe you don't know much about me, but my name is Lori Lothian. I am using Western Tropical Zodiac Astrology, not sidereal, using whole sign houses and the fixed stars and minor asteroids. If you like this kind of stuff where it's all signs astrology, my channel has 20 to 30 videos out every single month in which I cover this for every major event, including weekly astrology. So please consider joining. I'm on the road traveling, having to use a handheld mic, so bear with me and hopefully your sound is good. The only thing I want to say about this month ahead for you as we dive into it is how we proceed in my videos. We're not covering the new moon, full moon stories. There are two moons this month, one in Capricorn and of course one in Cancer, but we're going to rather leave those for my other videos on the channel. Indeed, what we're doing together today is talking about the changes of the planets Mercury, Venus, and Mars as they move into different signs this month and how that might impact you, as well as a breakdown of the month-by-month details as we go through the chronology of the month and what could happen and what may happen in that time for your sign. Now, I always encourage you to listen for your rising sign as perhaps the most accurate delineation. But if you're not listening for your rising, you can listen for your sun, which can represent your career purpose, but also your eternal nature, your soul. And the moon can represent your mother and your mother figures, home, body, nest, and safety needs, as well as how you emotionally respond to life. I like to listen to all three for myself, and I find that they're all useful. So pay attention to all three, and that gives you three different ones of my videos to listen to. Wow. So let's get started. And by the way, see these flashy, fun earrings? I'm promoting and sharing my girlfriend's earrings, Milena. I'm staying at her place in Portugal right now. And if any of you are interested in learning more about her jewelry, I picked this pair because it matches my dress. It's uncanny. She works with fabric, metal, and other one-of-a-kind unique jewelry creations. And her website will be in the description box below. I'm not getting any money from this. It's just a friendly share of a friend of mine's jewelry. So moving into the story of this guy for you guys. Number one, how has it felt to have Uranus in Taurus ever since 2019? Because he continues to move through the sign of Taurus. And that is your sun for your career and purpose and eternal self, is your moon for your body and your mom and stuff like that. Sun is dad. And then your rising sign is like you at the helm of your life in the first house of the ascendant degree or sign of birth. And so you've been willing to break out of the ruts that you've had in your life. You've been breaking the rules. You've been flying a freak flag. You're busting away from the normatives of what you consider to be who your character's supposed to be. And 2019 has been a lot of radical change of sense of self. At this month ahead, the excitement is Mars. Mars, the Lord of change and drive, ambition, will, and decisions, moving through the sign of Taurus since around June the 9th, will in the month of July rush headlong into Uranus in the late degrees of Taurus. If your sun, moon, and rising are in the last 10 degrees of Taurus, 10, let's say 21 to 29 degrees of Taurus, you're more likely to be impacted more directly, but all Taurians will still feel a reverb around the idea of you making radical, shocking, and surprising decisions in July when Mars around the 14th and 15th collides with Uranus in the house of your identity. Well, let's just put it this way. It doesn't have to all happen on those dates, right? The 14th and 15th, you might want to give it a week before and after, but some major life changes are coming. And because Mars is in the house of you, you're making the decisions or you're taking the actions or you're boldly declaring a new direction in life. Because unfortunately Mars rules the house of your significant marriage type partnership, and because you're carrying the Martian sword, looking across at your seventh house, this can also be you making some radical defining decisions and actions in regards to significant long-term business and love relationships. And if something is to go into ending mode, which Mars can bring ending and severing, cutting, you're the one severing, cutting, and ending, not the other person, most likely. So be aware of that. It's possible it's the other way around and I'm wrong, but be aware of that potential. And if there's anything if there's any cracks in the foundation of a long-term committed love relationship, this is going to be a testing window of time around the 12th of the month. I noticed that these earrings, because I'm in a window, they really do reflect the light. I think this is porcelain, FYI, but it's literally reflecting the light of the window. So keep that in mind. I'm just going to say that's the big story for you guys by far, because you are the one with the Mars energy in the house of you. So what about Mars's movement in the sky? He's going to leave the house of you, and he's been there since roughly June the 9th to July the 20th. He's going to move into the sign of Gemini on July 21st. He'll be there till September the 5th, but that means the last 10 days or so of the month of July, you've moved into a time in which Mars is aggressively pursuing financial gain of some sort. He may be having you change your job. He may be having you search for a job. He may have you curtail your spending. He may have you ambitiously, actively creating some financial wealth for yourself. Particularly, sometimes this can look simply like looking for a job or changing your job or being aggressively active and ambitiously willful in money making and work situations. Again, this starts on July the 21st and goes through until September the 5th. We're going to talk next about Venus and Mercury. They're changing signs as well. So let's talk about what that might mean. And Venus is particularly important to you because you're a Venus-ruled being. So let's start with her. So on July, on June the 16th to about July the 11th. So, you're coming into this already this month ahead. You have that Venus transit through the sign of Cancer. Now, Venus is fine in Cancer. She likes her soft, watery, nurturing energy. She's totally chill here and cozy. But what does Cancer mean in your whole sign house system? It means it's your third house. And your third house has to do with your siblings. It has to do with travel and short distances at that. It has to do with educational opportunities, especially to learn a skill, to teach or learn a skill. It has to do with writing projects. And these days, it's your virtual and real life neighborhoods, neighbors and neighbors in the virtual and real communities in which you inhabit reality. So this is not a bad transit for you, because if you're in the world of social media, it's going to help you succeed. Venus in your third house through to that July 11th can also be extremely good for just having some fun with your neighbors, your neighborhood, your friends, the people close at hand that you live with, or pleasure travel just for the enjoyment and the pleasure of it, or romantic travel as well. So those are narratives that are working on your behalf thanks to Venus through till July 11th. And then on July the 12th, all the way to August the 5th, Venus will be moving through Leo, which is your fourth house, which is where you live. It's your private home life, your domestic life, what you're doing alone at home. Well, sometimes I see people redecorate their home, repaint, get a new sofa, prettify their home, that kind of stuff. That's classic Venus yearly transit through this part of your sky. And that's again, July 12th to August the 5th. Or a female may visit you in the home, or you could visit a female in her home. You may have more fun and pleasure and joy and enjoyment and romance in and from your home, July the 12th to August the 5th. And, if you are doing any kind of commercial activity regarding buying or selling a property or renting and leasing properties, Venus is here with Mercury as well. So that allows for those things to move with ease and flow and grace in your life. So those are opportunities for you to use that energy. It can serve you. It's a really good time, as I said, for commercial activities regarding real estate as well, whether you're renting or buying or selling. Now, when we move forward and we look, no, not forward, but on in the narrative, what about Mercury? Mercury is very busy moving through 3 signs this month. It's until July 2nd. He's still moving through the sign of Cancer, where he arrived there in June. When Mercury's at the tail end of Cancer, there could be a lot of emails, phone calls, and text messages going back and forth, a lot of communications happening in the online world, maybe a lot of conversations with siblings, a lot of negotiations or contracts to do with writing projects, that kind of thing, or a lot of activity to do with creating and writing something. All of that's really true, but only until July 2nd. And then we move to July 3rd through to the 26th. For the majority of the month, Mercury is in Leo. And that's your fourth house of home and property and land and real estate and private domestic life. And when we have Mercury here, because Venus will be here as well, don't forget, starting on July 12th, this window when Mercury's co-present with her is particularly auspicious to sell a home, to buy a home, or to negotiate a new lease as a landlord or as a tenant. That's because Venus rules your house of rentals, your sixth house. And this opportunity is really luscious for you in the window of time that Mercury is here most aptly. So Mercury, again, July 3rd to the 26th, serves some purposes here. Now, if you're a writer or creative or an artist, you might be like, making art or writing or creating or communicating in and from your home, Venus, Mercury in the fourth house together. And then at the very end of it all, on July 27th, through to really about August 13th, you're going to have, let me just look at that. Well, let's just say this, July 27th to July 31st, Mercury moves into the sign of Virgo. He will be there until August 13th, and he retrogrades into Leo again. So we're going to do a whole video on the Mercury retrograde in his elemental fire year. But I'd say something like starting July 27th in general to roughly August 13th, you might be very capable with Mercury in the fifth house of having some superior communications with your children, interesting news from your children. Fifth house matters. A lot of creative projects that involve ideas taking off, a lot of social activity to do with things that bring you joy, fun, and play. That kind of stuff is really rocking and rolling, at the very, very end of the month. All right, so keep that in mind. We'll do a lot more diving into that during the August video for your sign. Let's go ahead now and let's talk about the breakdown of the month in terms of the chronology. I hope this microphone sound is half-assed good for you guys. It's been really tough to hold a mic at an equidistant distance from my face and keep getting the sound quality consistent. Welcome to travel. I'm in Portugal recording this for June the 18th, and my Patreon community gets early access ad-free content. They're getting this today, where you're likely to get this around the 23rd or so of the month. Now, let's roll. What about the chronology? Let's start the month like roughly the first 3 or 4 days of July. You're experiencing a beautiful Venus trine Saturn. And in Venus is a goddess of love and money matters. She's flowing in a beautiful way to Saturn in your 11th. This is this is work and work gains. 11th house matters connected to 4th house matters, which is your home, property, and real estate. So you could get a perfect job close to home, or 11th house is kind of like the colleague coworker space of the corporate land or the job space. And positive developments are happening, like friends, allies, and benefactors supporting you regarding career gains and work matters, and good things flowing to, from, and in your home life at the very same time. So you're going to love this vibe. It's coming through the sky around July 1st to the 4th. Possibly, if you're single, you could meet a new romantic partner through friends, group events, activities with friends close to home. If you're in a relationship already, you just might involve yourself with group events in a romantic capacity with the one you love. Certainly, Venus fortifies, strengthens love and money narratives for you in the first 4 days of July. With Jupiter in your second house of earnings and resources, a lot of you might be really lucky in getting a new job close to home or something like that, for example, in the first 4 days of July, if you're looking for work. Then around July the 4th, and we want to give it a couple of days before and a couple of days after, Mars will sextile or flow to Saturn. Now you have the Martian sword in your hand. You are the guy or the girl with the Mars energy. You're making decisions, taking actions, enhancing bulldozer willpower, and you're applying that willpower to Saturn in your 11th. So certainly it looks good on things like career gains financially, job searches, friends and favors and allies helping you achieve some of your goals and dreams in life. And energetically, it's perseverant, forbearant, hard work, but it's flowing. And it has to do with gains from your career. That's the classic meaning of the 11th house. So what kind of gains are you aiming for in your career? Is it financial, reputation, success, reward? Because you're having some significant, by virtue of your actions and decisions, success stories happening around July 4th, a couple of days before and after. On July the 8th, Mercury sextiles Jupiter, while at the same time, Venus sextiles Uranus. Mercury in Leo in your 4th house. Mm-hmm. And that is an important place because I talked about it earlier. Jupiter's in your money and resources house, second house, and flows to that Mercury. And that makes this around July 8th timeframe, give or take a couple of days before and after, extremely positive regarding financial matters and home matters. Again, are you buying a home, selling a home, trying to secure a new rental? Are you a landlord renting a property? These are the types of things that can happen. The next thing and you may have some financial benefits from a mother figure. The fourth house is the meaning of that at the very same time. Again, July 8th, give or take a day or two on either side. Venus will sextile the goddess of money and love, Uranus. Now, Venus, the goddess of money and love, is still in your third house, and she flows to Uranus, surprise, in the house of you. This is the part that makes you a rebel, a break free, rebel yell type energy this month because Mars is enhancing that. So with Venus flowing from the third house, there may be some lucky breaks coming through here to do with property, land, real estate, local neighborhood, siblings, childhood friends, cousins, nieces, and nephews, and actions that are surprising and exciting at the very same time. Again, it's got a lot of breakthrough energy because of Uranus involved. That's best I can say. Venus also says social activities that bring freedom and excitement, fun events in the local neighborhood that bring freedom and excitement. Perhaps that's all that might be on July 8th or so. And then on July the 10th to the 12th, and the sun trines Saturn, well, Venus trines Neptune. Well, the sun is a light of, the universe, the soul of the universe, and it's in the sign of Cancer. When the flowing part of the energy is all the way up to that great gains in your career, reputation stories, right? This is definitely you more in a career space. The trine can be a trip related to work. It could be travel for work. It can be favors from friends who are authoritative and powerful, supporting you to get things done in your social media land, your website, maybe even some opportunities for education here. The sun in your third house can also indicate a solar figure, so usually a male, cousin, niece, nephew, uncle, sibling, in a supportive role for you at this time, particularly when it comes to financial gain. And so friends also that are close to home or part of the larger family circle can be very supportive of your financial gains in your career story around that time in some capacity. And, with Venus, the goddess of love and money in a flow to dreamy Neptune, fourth house, 11th house matters. Your dream results in your goals and achievements calendar, what you wish to accomplish in your career because of something you've created or done from your home, or romantic love through friendship introductions and groups of belonging in and from close to home that has that soulmate vibe, Venus, Neptune, flow energy. It could even be a mystical experience through a group event connected to ancestral line matters. It's hard to parse. If you're redecorating your home, for example, a dreamy opportunity to buy your favorite sofa that you can't believe it. A friend is getting rid of their Ethan Allen, $5,000 dining room table set or something, and you get to get it. There's some kind of grace and blessings here for sure. Now, the most intense story of the month is the 14th and 15th of July when the Mars and Uranus co-join. And I already told you about that. So at the beginning of the video, it was too big to not talk about. So go back and listen to the start if somehow you jumped ahead. But let's put it this way. What the hell are you doing that's shocking everybody else around you, surprising them as you do exhilarating, breaking through energies here? I have no idea what this could be. You have to let me know what the hell you guys are up to. And if it's your sun in Taurus, maybe it's about a career matter. And if it's your moon, a home matter and a body matter, maybe you get a mohawk haircut. And if it's your rising sign, it could be any part of your life that you are engineering some radical freedom and breaking through and breaking away from something that could constrain you. On July the 16th to the 18th, the sun is sextiling Uranus. More surprises. Again, what could it be? It's all in that third house. Don't forget, we already saw energies activating here. This is nothing new. And you might want to go back in your mind and trundle back to July 8th when Venus was sextiling Uranus because the sun is following up. The sun tends to kind of close the deal. So what kind of exciting, lucky opportunity, breakthrough energy connected to home, to things close to home, neighbors, neighborhoods, siblings. It's going to be more close the deal, finish it up, bring the light of the sun to the matter around July 16th and 18th. You'll probably find those are connected, okay? July 8th connects to finalizing something or bringing more light to it around the 16th to the 18th. Then we're going to not miss a beat here. July 21st to the 22nd, you're going to see that Mars is very busy. Don't forget, you're Mars. You're carrying the Martian sword, but not any longer. I'm reminding you that he slides into the sign of Leo, and you're free of him July 21st, 22nd. He's just entered Leo. So now instead of you being all aggressive, hot under the collar, perseverant, bulldozer, super aggressive energies, and decisive as well, now it's different. Now you've got this energy here of Mars in your fourth house. Now I'm going to warn you, Mars is here for a long time. Remember, I told you that? Keep it in mind. Mars is in this part of the sky until September 5th. You have to be careful for conflict in the home. That's fighting with somebody in your domestic environment or arguing or having disagreements. All right, just be careful. But it also can be traveling from your home or changing or moving your home, packing your boxes, getting out of there, moving your home. It can also be construction and renovations in the home, hammers in the home. This is beginning, as I said, July 21 to 22. And it's as the initiatory beginning is, there's a trine to Pluto. Now, Mars and Pluto in a trine formation are positive energies. There's nothing. What did I say, trine Pluto? Wait, brain come back online. Oh, sorry. Cut out everything I just said about your home. I don't know if I'm going to be able to edit this. Sorry, guys. I just got over COVID. I had COVID. I'm like brain fogged out. I'm in Europe and I was sick for 4 or 5 days without eating, have blistering fever. I may try to edit this out. I may not get it edited out. So be nice to me here. Sorry. What the hell's going on? Mars is moving out of the house of you. I apologize. Into your second house of money. This is where you're going to be ambitiously pursuing financial gain. All right. This is where you're going to resource up through action, discipline, and perseverance. You could go on a job search, quit your job, move into a new direction in your work. You could eliminate spending excesses. You could do some serious, elimination of wastage in your finances, for example. So this is July 21st and 22nd. This is the beginning of the Mars transit, but he trines Pluto in your 10th house of career. My prediction, therefore, is July 21st and 22nd. It's very likely going to look like a career breakthrough. Some sort of career, power, wealth, money, breakthrough, change point. So if you're in a job, you may quit. Don't worry, something better will come. If you're in search of a job, something good can come. So all of those are true. And it's most acute around the beginning of this time frame of July 21st to, let's say, the 24th. And then also at the same time, Mars is flowing to Neptune. You get your dream goal of career gain, job, reputation, coming true, and maybe some beautiful favors from an elder sibling or a friend who's a benefactor to help you step into some kind of new financial success connected to career and reputation. Neptune rules video, filmography, and music. Maybe you go on a podcast if you're like me. Maybe you get some kind of extra public exposure, and that increases your wellness financially as well. Because Mars is entering into your second house for those weeks that I mentioned till September 5th, he is connecting with Jupiter, and Jupiter protects you here. So sometimes just Mars can make you spend a lot of money when he moves to your second house of earnings, but Jupiter is also a benefic, and you're less likely to overspend than normal. So it's more like how you're going to charge forward with some great Jupiterian luck in your finances connected to Pluto in your 10th house, your career path. And then we're moving into a surprise. During the same window of July 21 to 23, Mercury is going to square Uranus. What is the unexpected surprise to do with home matters? Something in and from your home or someone in your home, and a surprise on the agenda around July 21st and 22nd. A surprise opportunity to move, a surprise visitor, a surprise something in your fourth house. Now, The very end of the story, the only thing I can say is a very unusual long range 24th of July to 28th of July timeframe in which Mars is moving at the same pace as the sun, and they're keeping their connection as a sextile. Mars is moving in your earnings and money house, flowing to the sun in your fourth house of home and real estate. Money from a mother figure coming through on July 24th to the 28th, 29th. Financial opportunities close to home. Changes in your work situation connected to home and home life, significant shifts financially connected to buying, selling real estate property or rental opportunities that look like good things for you financially, July 24th to the 28th. Looking for your feedback on how that played out for you. I always try to read my comments, so don't forget, if you make a comment, I'm trying most often to read what you say about what will happen and has happened. On August the 19th, by the way, and August the 4th, we have two moons, but because I do lunations on my channel separately, I won't go into much detail, but I will give you this. A new moon, August 4th, a new home may be coming in the 6 months that follow. I think I did this at the beginning. And August 19th, a full moon in Capricorn, and it looks like you may have some big fulfilling opportunities for long distance foreign shore travel sometime from August 19th and the 6 months that follow. And also a full moon in Capricorn can open up great opportunities for legal matters and educational matters as well. So that's coming through August 19th. Add 2 weeks, but also fulfill it at least 6 more months. Every lunation, you can give it a 6-month afterglow. Thank you for listening, Taurus. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. And if you're not in my Patreon community, you'd be getting this on June the 18th or 19th at the latest. Please join and give me a try for mere $5 a month. We have up to 6 or 7 meetings every month. My Sky Reader class is starting in the month of September. And if you want to join, don't forget the shopping cart opens in August, or the enrollment tuition cart. But that 6-week live course to time your best life and be your own astrologer, why not join? You're going to get early bird discounts and a bunch of other perks by being on the early bird wait list. And that is a link in the description box below. All right. Thanks for listening, Taurus. Have a wonderful month of July. And be careful not to injure yourself. I didn't want to worry you guys up front, but Mars Uranus can be an unexpected injury. So please be careful around injuries around July 20th and 21st. I didn't front load the worry. All right. Ciao, ciao.